Anything crazy and outrageous in your life? Oh, good. I'm in good company. I'm going to share with you 3 things that are a little crazy and outrageous that I've done in my life. And these are just 3. I had to narrow it down. First one, I got married. Now, that may not seem crazy and outrageous. It was 25 years ago, but it was purely on paper. You see, I had this friend. His name was Jean-Maxime Permont, and he stood about 5'4", and his work visa was about to be up. So I told him I'd marry him. And we drove to Vegas and got married.
My Elvis.
And it was strictly on paper. So you see, this is a little bit, I helped Jean stay in the country. He had a great job. He was a wonderful person. He had a good heart. He had a great job in animation. I lived in California, and he was working at one of the studios, and he could have lost his job. So I gave that gift to him to stay in the country. The purpose was to help him. The second crazy, outrageous thing I've done, now ladies, I want you to imagine this. You have this beautiful, wide, 18-karat white gold bracelet filled with not 1, not 2, but 5 carats of princess cut diamonds. Ooh, did that thing sparkle. All right, now I want you to imagine one morning you wake up, you have your breakfast, and all of a sudden something hits you right here and right here in your heart and your gut. And it says to you, you need to give that bracelet to charity. And your head goes, are you out of your mind? But your heart and your gut went out. And you get dressed. You go to your safe. You pull the bracelet out. You get in your car and you drive to your favorite charity. And you walk in and you see the receptionist and the security guard, and you're going, I don't really want to leave this with them. So you ask if one of the officers would please come down. And the vice president of operations comes down, and you hand the bracelet to them and you say, this can build 2 fresh water wells in Africa for people who need it. And you walk out of there, and you don't have that wrenching feeling in your gut that you did something bad. You have something going on in your heart. And every time I think about that bracelet, I see the reflection and sparkles in the fresh, clean water that people now have. That's the glimmer in that. Again, it's about giving. And the purpose was to help others who might not have an opportunity to live healthier and live longer. And the third crazy thing that I did 2 years ago at the age of 62, do the math and don't tell me how old I am, okay? I quit my job. Now, most of you that came to my table heard that. I quit my job because I decided that I was going to be all in to go after my purpose in life. And that's what I'm doing right now. I felt like this was my purpose, is to share with people and help anyone that I can. You know, we can think about why we're doing this, and sometimes that fear does come over us, and then we have to shake it off. And really it is when your heart and your gut tell you, and you know what you have to do. While your head's telling you, oh, you know, you're going to have a lot of problems, you're going to go through a lot of stuff, and you've got to, we've heard all this about making that shift so that our heart and our gut are talking to our mind instead of our mind ruling over us, because we can make that change. But I had to ask myself, and we all have to ask ourselves, if not now, when? So I want you to say to your neighbor, if not now, when? You know, people say that the richest places in the world are cemeteries. And why is that? Because there's so much untapped talent and gifting that people have never used. They never fulfilled their purpose. Don't you want to take your last breath knowing that you had a life well spent? I know I do. And there's 3 things that I discovered about purpose, because I believe that we all know our purpose in life. But sometimes it takes us a little longer to recognize it. But there's 3 things about purpose that I've really learned. And one of them is that you have to open your heart and be vulnerable. Because like I said, our mind will tell us things. Oh, you've been through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, and people have betrayed you and all these things. And our mind starts to make our heart cover itself. And the only way you can truly fulfill your purpose is to open your heart and be totally vulnerable. And that means you bust open like a sweet watermelon, and yeah, there will be some flies. But the sweetness beats it all out. You can always get a fly swatter, you know. And things are so much easier when you're walking in your purpose. That pain seems to roll off of you. Any hurt seems to roll off of you, not like it did before. So that's one. Open your heart and be vulnerable. The second one is you have to live in the wonderment of childhood. And I want you all, I believe that probably everybody has done this. Think back when you were a kid and you ran out in your backyard on a warm summer night or spring night, and you laid down on the grass and you gazed at that vast universe up there. Has everybody done that? Yeah. And as a child, we're sitting there going, everything is ours. We can do anything. And you see all that beautiful wonder that you have in you. When did we lose it? You see, we have to get that back, because it is wonder that is truly the portal to greater knowledge, which is the third thing, knowledge. Let's separate that word out, know and ledge. See, we have to know the secret of the ledge. Because when we do something drastic in our lives, like quitting our job, not knowing what's going to happen with us financially or anything, we feel like we're stepping off a ledge. But the secret, when you know the secret of the ledge, you know that when you take that step off that ledge, because your heart is open, because you live in child wonderment, all of a sudden that path appears. And every step you take, that path just keeps growing and takes you to greater knowledge. And it's about sharing that knowledge. It's your path and your purpose. So open your hearts and live in child wonderment and know the secret of the ledge. Know your purpose.